or a solution that addresses a market pain, right? In my business, these products are supported by technologies. Right, so you have a product that addresses a pain supported by various technologies that hopefully are each supported by patent claims. And when people ask, well, how do you determine if a patent is valuable? This is step one. Can you make the link from the pain in the market that you're trying to solve to a product, to the technology, and then demonstrate that the technology is supported by the patent? And that may seem like a very logical, like, why would a patent be in existence that doesn't support the product and its market pain? Well, I will tell you, that doesn't always happen. And there are a lot of reasons why it doesn't happen. It could happen because the patent was filed 5 years ago and the product has changed over the course of 5 years, and now what was filed doesn't necessarily align with the important components of the product. It could be that, for whatever reason, just there wasn't any management. But if you cannot link the patent to the specific technologies to the product that the market cares about, and we're going to get into, well, what does that mean, the market cares about it? We'll talk about that. If you can't do this, you don't have a valuable patent, okay? Because nobody's going to care about it. So let's go through an example. And actually, I'll put, if you think about patentability, there are a couple of things that you have to really be concerned about. Novelty, and we'll talk about obviousness. From a legal perspective, you can't patent something that's not new, right? That's pretty simple. So if in the prior art, someone has patented something, or someone has even published something, you're not going to get a patent on it, right? Most people, that makes sense, right? Otherwise, you'd have, I can't patent the iPhone after Steve Jobs invented it, or a component of the iPhone after it's been invented by someone else. Obviousness is a little more difficult. For example, if someone's invented a sensor technology here, and then someone takes the sensor and puts it on a gas pedal here, so that you don't need to mechanically link the gas pedal to the fuel injector, you have a sensor that does it, right? Is it obvious to one skilled in the art to put a sensor on a gas pedal? And there's a whole, we could spend hours and hours talking about obviousness. But obviousness is one of those very tough hurdles to patentability that, in order to get a patent, it has to be new and it has to be non-obvious. I'm not going to spend too much time on this, but I wanted to at least mention it that, you have to overcome these hurdles in order to get a patent. So, the second step in determining if the patent is valuable. Just for the purposes of this example, let's assume we're selling stools. All right, very exciting business. Right, and I've mentioned patent claims, but at the end of the day, you can have a patent that's 20 pages long. And for those of you that haven't read a patent before, maybe you can pull one up now or take a look later, but usually you have a patent and it'll have a bunch of drawings and it'll have a bunch of text talking about, well, the stool, it's made of wood, but it could also be made of plastic, and it's got 4 legs, and it's got a seat. And then what you have is, from all of that disclosure, you get a patent claim. The title of the patent doesn't tell you what the patent protects. The text and the figures doesn't tell you what the patent protects. The only thing that tells you what is legally defined or protected by the patent, it's the patent claims. Okay? The claims are the most important aspect of U.S. patents and other patents. All right? So if I were going to claim this invention, we're a stool company now. All right? We're selling these really cool stools out there. We would have a stool comprising a seat and 4 legs. Because this is our product, right? Now, one of the major tenets of patent law is every every single element of every claim in the patent has to be present for there to be infringement. Okay? So, if a competitive product came on the market, here's our competitor, and we start looking at the elements of this claim. Does it have a seat? Yep, it has a seat. Does it have 4 legs? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, it's got 4 legs. It's got every element. There's infringement. Okay? So, with that in mind, if you were a competitor trying to get into the stool business, how would you invent around this patent claim? Yeah?
With 5 legs.
Close. Well, let's go through that. Here's my 5th leg. So let's go through the same analysis. Here's my patent claim. Does it have a seat? It's got a seat. Does it have 4 legs? 1, 2, 3, 4. It's got 4 legs. Infringement. So, 3 legs. You would invent around this patent if you had a product that had a stool and 3 legs, because it's got a seat, but it does not have 4 legs. Okay? So therefore, this patent, if this was your only patent claim, would not create barrier to entry in the stool market. So, if the pain in the market you're trying to solve is, we have a new seat material that's really comfortable that we want to put on a stool, and the customer doesn't really care how many legs there are, well, guess what? Your patent is not creating barrier to entry in this market and has very limited value. Okay? Now, so this is really, the second part of the analysis, because let's assume that our product here is our stool. So in this situation, we'd have alignment, because our product kind of matches the technologies and matches the patent. So we have some alignment there, but we're a little off on the pain in the market potentially. Because if our customers wouldn't really care whether the stool has 3 legs or 4 legs, then potentially you could invent around this patent claim. Okay, so the devil's in the details when it comes to what a patent really protects. And that's really the heart of patent strategy. It's figuring out what the pain in the market is, what your product is, and all of the different ways that you can create patent claims that someone can't say, oh, well, just make this a 3-legged stool instead of a 4-legged stool, or some other way to get around it. But let's talk about